Life Tapestry Creations, Inner Voice Megaphone. Dear ones, New You is so powerful you might have second thoughts about accepting the related responsibilities. Even though that last sentence appears threatening or overwhelming, it is neither. Instead, it is a reminder you can no longer hide behind the 3D screen of, "I don't remember." Even though you used your lack of knowing who you were for eons of Earth lives, you have now opened the gates to your inner knowledge. Most of you contend you do not know much more about yourself than was true before the last few energy bursts, that you may be interested in something new or are tired or angry, but your self-knowledge remains as it was. Such is not true. You opened your inner being in ways not always describable. Even though you are not yet necessarily wholly new you, the one piece that is now and forever true is you can no longer claim ignorance when you do or say something. Your former little inner voice has become a megaphone, the only voice now loud enough to declare who you are. You know who you are even as you evolve into that being. You may not hear the words, but you know when you are moving in the wrong direction because you feel flat, lifeless, angry, frightened, or experience physical or emotional pain. All indicators you are not where you need to be. Words are more of a function of your ego and brain. Your inner voice is of your heart. The word heart does not necessarily mean your physical heart but your emotional being that has little to do with your ego or intellectual voice. Until recently, you could always counter that you did not understand. Or you did something because others expected it of you. Or that voice or action was necessary because someone told you to do it. Or thousands of other 3D excuses appropriate when you blocked your inner information. "I have to" or "had to" was your 3D refrain. A refrain that is only appropriate for those who remain entirely of 3D. Your inner voice is not screaming at you every moment of every day, as was true for your 3D voice as it dominated your being and actions. For the first time while of Earth, your ego voice is weakening. Your newly strengthened inner voice is isolated because you are moving forward on your unique path. And the only way to do so is to follow your now dominant inner voice. Even though your ego voice will continue because it is part of your earthly being, it is a weak version of what was once your primary roadmap. This strange new being you are becoming can be frightening. You are not wrong, just different, including having difficulties explaining why or how to anyone. Nothing seems logical, and many words and actions seem wrong because your urges feel counter to who you were and most often different than your societal dictates. New you is who you dreamed of becoming. You no longer have anyone to blame or even share your new being with because those you wish to share with are undergoing a similar transition. And those you want to blame no longer care. You are shifting into new dimensions, actions, and words. None of which is part of a 3D life. Perhaps you feel that you are on a tightrope without a net. Or you are no longer the quiet, peaceful person you once imagined yourself to be. Or you feel lonely even while surrounded by others. All indicators you recognize your new being. If you do not acknowledge your new being, you will experience fear, panic, anger, or physical indicators that all is not right in your world. Fighting to negate new you is no different than an infant choosing not to become a toddler. Whether that infant wishes to change physically and intellectually or not, it will happen. So it is true for you. The difference is the consequences are more notable. Not because you are that different but because you will not be accepted in either world. An infant must shift from universal knowledge to 3D societal rules within months of birth. You are repeating a similar pattern in the opposite direction. With some additions, you are returning to the being you were when you first entered Earth. As an infant, it was not easy to learn what words and actions meant, and now it is not easy learning what inner feelings mean. Just as is true for infants, you need to claim your life. You can no longer change the world, nor will you want to. Once you fully claim your being, the world will seem like a distant memory. Your new being is too exciting to continue any feelings you once had about caretaking the world. The earth can take care of itself, as is true for all new beings. You are a new being with universal thoughts and actions that have little to do with society or who you should be. Allow yourself to be who you have wanted to be for eons. You are not a terrible, ungrateful, or mean person. You are merely filling yourself with self-love and then acting upon it, as is true for the millions of beings transitioning with you. Follow your inner voice into joy, or subvert any inner voice actions or words by following the guidelines established for others. You are no longer part of a group. You are evolving rapidly into the powerful and loving being you have dreamed of, and acting upon that power and love as your inner being directs. So be it. Amen. A message from God, the expectation. If you live in the reality of strong expectations, you cut yourself off from being. Expectation is always egoic and an expression of your limited self-awareness. If you expect something, be it from yourself or from other people, a kind of solidification occurs in your energy bodies. Your energies no longer flow freely as you focus all of your attention on the future in which your expectation is to be fulfilled. You are in the past if an expectation has not been fulfilled, and mentally in the future while you wait for the expectation to occur. Far from now you reduce your personal perception. Expectations bind your energies and keep you from being in the now, paying attention to each moment and the beauty of life. How hypnotized you wait for the moment that should bring you fulfillment. But meanwhile you miss all the moments that give you actual joy and abundance. It doesn't matter whether you expect something from yourself or someone else, your energy is always dammed up and your ego is in control. Expectation always leads to disappointment and frustration. Even if fulfillment comes from time to time, this is only a brief high, since peace never comes. As soon as an expectation pattern has been fulfilled, the next goal appears, and again you wait, you are in expectation. When you are in being, there is no expectation, everything is there, immediate and now. So what are you waiting for? There is nothing to expect as everything is there, unlimited abundance in the now. As soon as you realize who you are and as soon as you have uncovered your inner essence, expectation patterns dissolve. This letting go brings you back an incredible amount of energy, the rigidity turns into mobility. You become supple, and it shows in your body language. The now. You were born to work out of your true being, out of your being, and not to fulfill expectations that are stored in the collective consciousness of people and constantly cause unrest, dissatisfaction, and a completely wrong self-perception. They keep you from your joy as anticipation overlooks the moment, the now. Always be ready, but expect nothing. Be awake and fresh, open and flexible. Be amazed and experience the world with all your senses, both your inner and your outer senses. Be cheerful and stay calm when events are worrying you. Always stay in the now. There you live, there you are, there is your being. Everything is taken care of when you understand this truth. It is a divine law that every human being is cared for. Just because most people cannot accept this, they create their reality and live in constant lack, in constant expectation, in constant worry. Everyone is taken care of, dear human child. This is not an unworldly, aloof and unrealistic illusion, but the only true and eternal law. Every defect is man-made, you create your reality through your thinking, your words condense it and your actions ultimately create your world of experience, your so-called reality. Ask the infallible divine light for enlightenment. Let it into your being so that you can recognize who you are. It is the lack of self-awareness that creates all of your feeling of lack, for expectation always reflects a distinct feeling of lack. Know that no man is born to fulfill your expectations. No child will meet your expectations, and no partner is there. Absolutely no being and no expression of this reality of life is there to meet your expectations. You are not there to meet the expectations you have set yourself, or to meet the expectations of others. It's so important to realize what you were born to do. The light shows you and shines so that you can see yourself, and you will be amazed, because a deep inner touch happens to you. This tenderness is the love of your being. If you touch this energy source, you experience abundance, immediately and completely. There is no more lack, no expectation, no past or future. You're being in the now. You are who you are. Letting go of this subtly debilitating feeling is a true release, like putting down a heavy burden. You also feel physically lighter and more elastic, more flexible and more harmonious. This usually relieves you of tension. You have given up your rigidity and your waiting, and you are getting your energies back. You stand there strengthened and can enjoy every moment, joy, peace, freedom and love, in the now. You don't look for happiness in the past, nor do you wait for the future. You are now fully yourself and present. Every expectation limits you in your work, makes you passive, lethargic and dissatisfied. An infinite number of expectation patterns are stored in the collective consciousness of mankind, and this illusion is further maintained by the media. Get out of this spiral, become aware of your issues, let in the light and free yourself from it. Your social life, your communication, your systems, both economic and political, are permeated by patterns of expectations. The man expects this and that from the woman from the man. You expect this and that from work, the state should fulfill this or that expectation for you, etc. You move and are caught in the spiral of self-expectation, the expectation of others and the fulfillment of foreign expectations. Rise and begin to claim your actual power. You are co-creator and absolute co-designer of your reality. Everything starts with your thoughts. What you think, you become, inevitably. Look at what you do, what you speak and what you think. Where do you meet your lack? By transforming these energies you get into your power and into your being. The divine light helps you, it shines where your feeling of lack originates, it finds the right assignment and dissolves this pattern. This is very important, because the right assignment brings you to understanding, and only this healing is complete. Your encompassing being has been touched and is being rebalanced. Energies that are preventing you from your self-awareness must be put back where they came from. It is therefore necessary to make the right assignments. Expectations that those around you have of you must roll off you like rain does on a raincoat. By recognizing and dissolving, you become immune to it. The collective expectation pattern no longer has power. You are free and in your power, anchored in your being, connected to your essence. Light and love radiate from your being. This is the protection, the cloak that keeps destructive energies away from you. Release energy. Letting go of expectations has an immediate effect, and you immediately feel better, lighter and more comfortable. Each new letting go brings you closer to your true lineage, until you enter your inner sanctum, your inner space, your divinity. Dissolving expectations releases an unexpected amount of energy. You celebrate every day from your heart, you know your tasks and the connections, you are centered, in your midst, in harmony with yourself. Your ego has withdrawn and you are in your being, living each moment according to your omnipotence, unfolding your glory. Each dissolution is a step to your actual essence. Transforming your expectation is essential to being self-determined and free. Ask the infallible divine light to shine on you, and you will experience true miracles. Free yourself from all constraints and the tightness that this pattern of feelings brings with it. The infinite expanse and unrestricted freedom will be returned to you. Your heart knows all the answers. Start asking to get back into your heart and into your being. From this original beauty you create your life to create a new reality. Your heart knows all the answers. Start asking.